explosiveness that Ness doesn't always have the best time matching, especially with the way ATATA plays. He's much more of a nickel and dime player. He's not hitting the fly mat combos. He's not hitting the things that are going to take you from 0 to death pretty consistently. He's going to win neutral a million times. And Wario is very apt to do that in this matchup, but 72% as Loaf can't escape the PK Fire train.
This is looking like a strong start for ATATA, hoping to take his first set win ever against Loaf. We already saw ATATA take his first set win ever against DeBuzz just last week. Yeah. So he's on a hot streak after coming back from Japan. And what has he learned? Down air into up air doesn't quite take the stock.
Yeah, and down 7 sets in a row. Despite that, I can't imagine ATATA feels too uncomforted or scared in this matchup. He's beaten a lot of people recently that he's never beaten before. He's been playing very well. He's gotten a lot of great placements, even winning Combo Breaker. So ATATA is definitely on a heater right now, and even despite the winning record, not someone I would want to see if I was Loaf, but the down air, very well placed, is going to cover that recovery.
Yeah, that's one of the things, is that a lot of that aerial space that ATATA or Ness in general wants to be in, both on the stage and off the stage, has coverage options that are correct answers for Wario. Wario can, has a cut and dry, these are the moves that I should use when Ness is using this move. Loaf found those, but ATATA was able to clean up the stock without taking too much back.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups where things can get ugly off stage. You can see the most bizarre interactions the moment both characters leave their feet, as I expect to see quite a bit of that. ATATA likes to get aggressive below the stage. Sometimes, a nice extension there from Loaf.
Weird combo.
An early double jump, rather, from ATATA, but he's able to find his way to the ground. And yeah, weird combo.
PK Thunder.
Strange.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it started off with ATATA thinking that PK Fire would break the bike. Half waft confirmed. Yep. So many of those I feel like I've seen in the last week or two. And Loaf continuing with that pattern to take an early-ish stock off of ATATA. But not afraid to look for custom combos. Loaf taking a lot of space.
Yeah, Loaf not at all scared of using the half waft. I see him use it more often than a lot of other Warios. He likes to just take the confirmed damage when he can get it, and that up smash on shield is not as much of a guarantee as many people think it is. Loaf has the knowledge check in the back pocket. He's going to roll away from that.
Plenty aware. Catching the neutral grid up with a grab. Yeah, there's the back air. It just covers all of that space, and you can drift it out so that it's safe.
And that down air is going to be such a nuisance off stage for ATATA. Loaf just barely missing with that one, but it connected earlier on. I expect to see that coming through a lot. Nair's going to trade with dash attack.
Anime moment.
Yeah, and this is the thing where we called attention to Wario's just superior stats. Whenever you trade and both players hit each other, that's going to benefit Wario because he's finding center stage faster. He's going to float in so much quicker. It's really hard for Ness to really plant his feet down in this matchup.
And he's heavier, so even if you trade, there's a chance that you'll take the stock when Ness doesn't.
What a spot dodge there from Loaf, as he doesn't opt for the throw, just the release.
Oh, goodness.
The missed recovery from ATATA, and that's very uncharacteristic from him. I see ATATA just be super poised off stage, and he gets some angles with Ness's recovery off stage that you do not see very often. It's a very unique way that he likes to recover, and maybe not unique as much as it is just consistent. He mixes up his timings, and it's so hard to deal with. But right there, just a miscue at the end of a game where he already had quite a bit of a deficit, so it doesn't feel as bad as if it were a little closer, if he had a lead even.
Adaptation here, I'm assuming we're going to see a stage swap, right? You don't want this wide stage where Wario gets to cover so much of it so much quicker than you do. Small. What would you go here?
I tend to like just whatever the smallest stage Wario allows you. Typically in this matchup, at least in my experience, Warios are going to ban, you're going to get like a Smashville Hollow FD ban, just because those tend to be the ones that are the hardest to run away on, you know what I mean? So I am going to be interested to see, as we do see Loaf leaving Smashville open, and I do love this stage pick for ATATA. It's so much harder for Wario to get the movement going. You can really plant yourself under that top platform, and Wario has to be a lot more careful about where he lands.
I imagine the concept of banning double platform stages just comes from ATATA liking to use the double jump cancel PK Fires to use it to mix in movement a lot and potentially catch you out. So thinking that you can go to a center platform stage that you're going to be kind of constricting ATATA's movement options, not true. ATATA's so comfortable on this and Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, and the trade-off here is that you don't get to use those double jump fires on the side platforms and in neutral, but in advantage, it is a demon on this stage. The moment you're stuck in the corner, ATATA just has a slew of options to keep you there forever because of the placement of that center platform. And now
just even startup right here.
Yeah, right? just sharking him down. That down smash doing an excellent job of that. Such a nasty angle to recover from. And Nair is going to send Loaf back out. No bike at his disposal. The recovery is going to be rather weak, and ATATA demonstrates just why that is. Not many places to go there.
Good call on the bike not being available. Loaf probably would have been looking for that, or would have drifted further out to try to find a recovery, but he had to drift in. ATATA was ready for it.
Yeah, he would have gone way lower, but just did not have the option. And ATATA puts on a lot of damage. That was way scarier than it looked, by the way. Any miscue there from Loaf and disadvantage would have been the stock. ATATA was sharking as a very well-placed PK flash. It's going to force Loaf to back up a little bit.
PK thundering quickly back, understanding that Loaf cannot position himself for a down air in that close of a range without potentially being risky. Bike on stage, and it's gone as soon as it was there.
Not going to be a super strong point for Wario in this matchup. That's one thing that Ness does really well is play around bike, because you can PK fire it and just put a wall that Wario has to respect or wait behind or jump over. Good point. As well as Ness has a lot of very fast, long-lasting hitboxes. So generally, when Ness has bike in front of him, he's going to love that. I don't expect to see Loaf putting that out on the ground too often in this set.
Able to get back just narrowly. The bike. Oh, no, the bite, I mean. Air dodge is back. He's kind of mixing this up. He wanted to get the PK Thunder, but Loaf was ready. Not going to get hit right underneath the arc. Dash attacks to take ATATA's first stock.
Yeah, the game of chicken and will I, won't I off stage is one that ATATA plays better than many other Nesses and better than many other people in the world. But Loaf is going to come out on top of that one right there.
Waft is available.
Big opening here. The Nair onto the platform just doesn't connect. That could have been huge, but Loaf very keen to see that the Nair didn't connect and not go for the waft, as that up smash, not a lot of priority, but again, it is going to go through bike.
Yo-Yo beats motorcycle. Just lock that one away. The next time you guys are facing your biker gangs. Oh my god.
The wrong way.
The wrong way. That's happened more than once, I feel like, to Loaf recently. Does two-frame with... Oh my god.
That big disjoint on Ness is going to make it a little bit harder for Wario to get all the way out there and finish those edge guards off stage. But when you remain close to ledge, Wario gets a lot of mileage off of just keeping Ness out, putting a hitbox, a down air to cover the ledge. That's where Loaf's gotten his mileage so far. The roll behind was really smart to mitigate damage. The air dodge is never the move. When Ness is below you with that PK Thunder, the air dodge is always the scariest thing you can go for. Loaf counting his lucky stars to be alive right now.
Oh god, the up tilt covers so much of that short hop space that ATATA wants to jump in with that it just keeps catching, but yet there it is. The down smash reversed does clean up an edge guard. Loaf went for a high recovery trying to mix up the timing, but I think it's just going to get hit no matter what without bike available.
Yeah, we mentioned a general lack of checkmates earlier on in the Icon versus Doorstop set that are present in Smash Ultimate in general. Just not a situation you see super often, but Ness hitting you with PK Fire off stage is about as close to a checkmate as you can see. It's a really difficult thing to deal with, as your movement is just so minimal and Ness has so many ways to cover you. You can lose stocks as early as 30 or as late as 200 by getting hit by a PK Fire off stage, and ATATA making really good use of that so far in this set.
Loaf finding some nice confirms off stage as well, able to bat ATATA out with a fairly, I wouldn't say disjointed, but definitely priority on the back air. And so choosing to run it back to Smashville, Loaf must have found some sort of comfort.
Yeah, and there's a touch of comfort, but it's not going to be a lot. This isn't going to be a stage where Wario fully gets to play the game plan that he likes. You have to scrap. And Loaf going back to the stage is saying, I'm ready to fight you. I'm ready to get in your face and try to make it happen.
And I'm ready to not use a lot of aerial speed and drift. You can see that he's been playing a lot more grounded or a lot more micro spacey than he has been in the previous games. He was ready to adjust on this stage, but ATATA just seems a whole lot more comfortable playing that game plan. Yeah,
another game that Loaf likes to play is the flickering shield and baiting a grab, playing grounded, and he plays that so effectively. That's been such a staple of his gameplay for so long, is trying to get those grabs and flicker his own shield and bait you to grab. So far,
no bike.
It's not working out too well for him, and yeah, no bike indeed. It's basically impossible to get that recovery against Ness. He makes use of that so well, and again, very smart from ATATA. He's going to put that bike in the corner and not give it to Loaf as an option. Loaf is going to try to run over there and make it a part of the game, but ATATA's going to put the fire on it. It's really hard to work around that as Loaf.
Yeah, and the bike being on that side does provide a lot of safety, because you can't use A-button moves without picking up the bike.
Yes.
So the fire to wall Loaf out a little bit and the bike still existing means that ATATA gets to get back to stage fairly safely.
Very smart way of working around that bike for ATATA indeed. The footstool from Loaf. Accidental, can't find a punish after adapting to it. And that forwarder just beats out bike, and yet again, Wario off stage, no bike. Loaf isn't even going to give it a go this time.
Air dodges right to the blast and said, start this one over. He might already be looking for a game 4 right now, unless he can close the stock out cleanly. But off stage, ATATA's been loving these edge guards, baby.
That down smash is a terrifying move to see come out at 36% with no jump. That just might have been the stock.
unfortunately for loaf. Did not connect. Oh, PSI Magnet to reverse the situation, but crossing to the other side. Smashville is small enough for him to do that, and then the PK Fire, down air, guaranteed combo.
Yeah, you find that PK Fire at that specific hitbox that ATATA got that, Loaf was dead center on that PK Fire. Typically in the corner, if you just like, you know, are standing there, you're flickering your shield, and then you get tagged by a PK Fire, you're going to be able to DI your way out of it. But when you find yourself directly in the middle of that hitbox, Ness can do whatever he wants. He can find another PK Fire into a down air, he can run up and charge an F smash. Ness just has a slew of options, and all of them are going to spell disaster for Loaf there.
And what more practiced Ness to do it than ATATA? Having been playing this character since Smash 4, he knows every interaction, he knows every situation, character specific, stage specific, and hitbox specific on the PK Fire, like you said, that he's going to pick the most optimal option.
The most optimal option off stage has been the biggest thing for ATATA. Loaf is losing a lot of real early stocks. Every time ATATA is really able to push him into the corner. And now Loaf opting for a little bit more size on a similar stage layout, as the close quarters gameplay was really working out for ATATA. We're going to see Loaf try and drift around a little bit more and bait ATATA in and out, but ATATA has really just been in his grill this whole time.
I'm really not sure how this is much better. I mean, I get that it's a larger stage, but I don't think that the double platform would be beneficial to ATATA as much as it could be to Loaf, especially in disadvantage.
I fully agree. The PK Fire mix-ups onto that platform and using it to pressure is solid and it's safe, but really it's not going to be a threat against a player like Loaf. He's so familiar with that and how to work around it. Loaf is generally going to get more mileage off of being able to take that space and move around and mix it up and force ATATA to commit to something, which right now ATATA is able to commit and come in and out whenever he wants to. PK Fire on that bike really limits Loaf's options.
It did force him to jump, and ATATA had the jump read, just couldn't find the connection. Still able to keep an advantage stay right here with the back throw, sending Loaf to the other side of the stage and hanging a little bit too long. You're going to get caught by that up smash, and it would have also caught jump as well.
Ooh, yeah, definitely would have caught jump. Not many options there. You basically just have to get up, attack it. As we see ATATA surge forward, put on even more damage. He's going to be forced to recover this time. Loaf should be getting a lot of mileage off of this, but he's just kind of losing his composure at the edge. He's committing to things that ATATA is able to make him bite for. Ness, one of the more apt characters to try and shark you when you're off the ledge. So if you're throwing out F-tilts and down airs when ATATA is still floating there, that's not really going to work out for you. And a trade could go in the favor of ATATA. Could see a stock trade, but he's going to play super patient here, forced to regrab, and Loaf is going to be all over that one.
Was ready for it. I'm not sure if ATATA needed to play that much. He got the one reset. He did not need to go back to ledge right there. He got away with murder once. It's not going to happen twice.
Yeah, and that kind of looked to me like a patience check for ATATA. He was like, okay, you know what, you're getting, oh, wait a minute. Combo on the platform could have been terrifying.
It is scary with WAP to look available, but not quite yet.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, ATATA was saying off stage, like, you're getting a little impatient. I'm going to keep trying to nickel and dime damage off here until you can really stay composed and get the stock off of me for it. And Loaf showed that he can do just that. So I'm going to be expecting to see a little bit less sharking. But, man, as you said, with Waft on deck, this game could fly off the rails at any given moment.
I think the idea of Hollow Bastion is that the up tilt can poke through the platform, and you could find potentially like a Waft confirm off of that. And ATATA's playing really far away from Loaf at this point. That's going to be stock.
Might trade. Ooh, okay.
Had to use the Waft to recover, though. That's crucial.
Yeah, and that's an awkward situation where ATATA, at a point, gave up on the recovery and just tried to poke with the tail of that PK Thunder to mess up the recovery. He wasn't able to get it done, though, as the down smash at the ledge catches Loaf in an aerial. I think he might have been trying to grab ledge and then get up attack. Right.
Yeah.
But and then he buffered that neutral air.
Thought the exact same thing. ATATA's in center stage, planking on that platform, but Loaf was able to get in for a small combo before getting turned back around.
Just the dash back PK Fire, the Wi-Fi options coming through from ATATA. Just a level of safety and confidence. He's quite poised right now. We don't want to see that composure fall at any time soon, though, because that Wario half waft could get it done at any given moment. Down tilts in the corner. That's going to be one of Ness's most terrifying options. But again, Loaf is really good at dealing with like the multi-hit drag down tilt mix-ups that Ness can have. And so far, he's gotten out of them with ease. The air dodge could be terrifying. Loaf, a minimal recovery. Well, not so minimal. He's still putting on damage.
Yeah, I still think we have like 10 seconds until half waft is available. I don't think that it's quite up yet, so Loaf wasn't looking for quite that option, but happy to take an advantage state. Oh, able to reverse off of the ledge there, the jump PSI magnet, but right back to where you started, recovering high this time.
Yeah, Loaf honestly quite lucky to get away with just a down B and a nair right there. Could have been a lot more damage and a really strange hitbox on the bike. A lot of the times you see Ness's PK Thunder go through that and just break the bike outright, but I think it might have two-framed him there as Loaf was able to time up the release on that bike.
Going to a Game 5, ATATA versus Loaf. ATATA, again, has never beaten Loaf in every time that they've seen each other in bracket, which has been 7 times. More sizable than some of these matchups that you see at top level. Looking to take his first one here on the set.
Yeah, this would be a big one to take to go into winners semifinals of cost. This is a pretty solid tournament, rather top-heavy. A lot of really solid players. ATATA perhaps so nervous that he just trickled some water on himself. I don't know if you saw that.
He's just trying to keep himself
keep himself cool,
keep himself
right?
lubricated for this set.
Oh.
You know, wants to keep
yes.
it, you know,
stay smooth,
stay
calm.
This is better than their last set went. Last set that they had, which was back in January at Frosty Fausting, was a 3-1 in Loaf's favor. But again, it's still a 7-0 like for Loaf. Every time that they've gone to Game 5, Loaf has taken it.
And this is the first time they've brought it to... Oh, never mind. The first time they've brought it to a Game 5 since last year's Combo Breaker, and the first time before that was in 2021.
Wow.
So not only is Loaf dominant in terms of the set record, but ATATA doesn't often bring it this close, only doing it twice in their 7 sets. ATATA, this would be a great time for you to take your first set off Loaf.
I think Loaf took a page out of your book and decided to ban Smashville after how that Game 3 went. So Hollow Bastion is the best option available. Both of these players running back to the stages that they lost on previously. And at this point, I think you just have to say whoever is the better player on this day is the one that's going to win.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a case of that. Both players playing super solid. Not a lot of miscues ever since that early one from ATATA, as Loaf takes an early lead here. And another thing we're seeing tip into Loaf's favor is that ATATA isn't taking as many early stocks off of those close side blast zones. That's another thing Ness loves, his back air and his down smash. A lot of options to take early ones, and Loaf is going to be able to do just that as he catches a jump and takes one at just 115.
Full stock down right now. You want to close this out as soon as possible. Starting an edge guard is a good way to do it. PK rockets away because that's a dangerous position to be in.
Yeah, just plays it very safe there. I like that from ATATA, but I like it even more from Loaf, how he was able to just shark that down and stay in your grill up tilt in the back air, threatening for ATATA more and more as Loaf is really looking to have cashed in. ATATA still had a jump, uses it early because I think he might not have been sure if he still had it or not, and now really forced to recover from the trenches. He makes it back, gets aggressive from ledge, and Loaf finds the patience in this Game 5. What a great time to really tap into catching that ledge timing.
Yeah, ATATA's looking really panicked right now, going for a lot of options that are super unsafe, and Loaf, all he has to do is wait. He hasn't had to do anything special except for wait out these options, so ATATA has to make the most of every advantage state because otherwise it's danger.
Yeah, and this is really the first time in the set that Loaf has had every option he wants at his disposal. Such a massive lead. These games have all been back and forth, but man, Loaf is just crawling away with this one. The back air gets the stock off for ATATA, but it is going to be a monumental feat. If ATATA wants to make this back, and Halfwaft is going to get it done in a set that was so back and forth. What happened in that Game 5?
Loaf got the secret sauce for the first stock, and then I think ATATA just got a mental hit. It seemed like once the momentum fell out of his favor, he was trying so desperately in this Game 5 to get it back. Maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's, you know, something else that caused him to need to take a moment, but he just did not have a moment to take. The octane was too high, and now we're going to get some of these replays.
Yeah, ATATA just could not step to the pressure in the last moment, and that's what we were seeing a lot of from ATATA early on that Loaf was able to mitigate towards the end, was these off-stage interactions. The moment Loaf left his feet, ATATA was doing such a great job capitalizing, especially on Smashville, and that was another great example of that, just catching an aggressive option off ledge, and that's really when the pendulum started to swing, was when ATATA started getting too aggressive, and Loaf started really taking his time on that ledge.
Having to force a Loaf to use the waft there.
What an interesting hitbox of that. Usually Ness up beats through that bike.
Handlebars to the face, I guess.
Right?
Oh, and there was the half waft right there. Loaf found every opportunity in that last game, capitalized on every single one. It looked like he didn't miss a single advantage state. It got full pressure off of everything, and there was 0% possession for ATATA in Game 5.
Loaf